In the hustle and bustle of the city, where the sound of honking horns and bustling crowds fills the air, no one expected that one simple interaction would change the lives of two strangers forever. Scene fades into a busy street in Cleveland, Ohio. Cars zoom by, people walk quickly on the sidewalk, and the camera focuses on a disheveled man sitting on the cold concrete next to a cardboard sign that reads, "Anything helps, God bless." This is Leonard, a man who's been living on the streets for nearly a year. At 42, he's lost everything: his job, his home, his family. Most passers-by ignore him. A few toss a coin his way, but most just walk by. Leonard adjusts his worn-out beanie, shivering from the cold as he watches people walk past, their shoes ranging from fancy heels to sleek sneakers. But then, something changes. Out of the corner of his eye, Leonard sees a pair of shoes stop in front of him. White, pristine sneakers. They're expensive, worn by someone young, someone special. The camera zooms in on a young man standing there, casually scrolling through his phone. People around him whisper, some pull out their phones to record. It's Barron Trump, the son of former President Donald Trump. But for Leonard, he's just a young man, and something about him seems different, calm, patient, unlike the hurried faces of the crowd around them. Leonard nervously calls out. Leonard softly, "Hey, young man, can you spare $1?" Barron looks up, pausing, as if he's unsure if he heard correctly. He slowly turns toward Leonard, his expression unreadable. A simple question, one Leonard has asked so many times before. But this time, something unexpected happens. Barron calmly, "What do you need it for?" Leonard is taken aback by the question. It's not a judgment, but a genuine curiosity. Most people would just walk away. But Barron stands there, his attention fully on Leonard, waiting for an answer. Leonard, hesitantly, "Maybe a coffee? Or a sandwich if I'm lucky." Barron steps closer, his phone forgotten in his pocket. People around them begin to whisper, watching the unusual interaction. Barron, "How long have you been out here?" Leonard's heart races. He's not used to being asked questions like this. Most just ignore him or toss a coin without a second thought. Leonard quietly, "Almost a year. I lost my job when the factory shut down. My health went downhill after that." Barron listens intently, his gaze focused, not judging, just listening. The crowd watches in silence. Leonard's story, his struggle, suddenly feels real, not just a spectacle, but a human story. Barron looks at Leonard with a mix of empathy and seriousness. Barron, "And your family?" Leonard, "Not much left there. Haven't spoken to my brother in years." There's a brief pause. Barron doesn't rush to reply. Instead, he reaches into his pocket. Then with a calm movement, Barron pulls out a $100 bill. The camera zooms in on Leonard's shocked expression. Leonard stammering, "Are you serious?" Barron calmly, "Here. This should cover more than just a coffee." Barron hands Leonard the money. Leonard stares at it in disbelief. Narrator, it wasn't just the money that stunned Leonard. It was the gesture. No one had ever done this before. Barron steps closer, his tone softening. Barron, "But listen, this isn't just about the money. I want you to promise me something." Leonard, confused, "Promise you what?" Barron, "If I help you today, you have to help yourself tomorrow." Leonard's eyes widen. He's never been challenged like this before. For the first time in a long time, someone wasn't just offering him charity, they were offering him a lifeline. Leonard, I don't know if I can." Barron, "You can, and you will." Barron writes something on a piece of paper and hands it to Leonard. Barron, "Here's the address. Go there tomorrow. They'll help you." Leonard holds the note tightly in his hand, still processing everything. It wasn't just about the money. It was about hope. It was about the belief that Leonard could turn his life around, if only he took the first step. Barron turns to leave, his demeanor calm, unaffected by the growing crowd around them. As Barron walks away, the crowd begins to murmur, some recording the interaction. Leonard stands there, unsure how to feel, grateful, confused, maybe even embarrassed. Leonard whispering to himself, "I'll go. I'll try." Scene transitions to the next morning. The next morning, Leonard finds himself standing in front of the Hope Outreach Resource Center, the address Barron gave him. It's a simple building, but for Leonard, it's the first step toward rebuilding his life. Inside the center, Leonard meets a kind worker who listens to his story and starts making arrangements to help him. That day, Leonard began to see the pieces of his life fall back into place. For the first time in a long time, someone believed in him, not out of pity, but out of hope.